All right, so here we go. Elohim Eternal restart because Starphoenix screwed up. So like I said the last time I played this, first off, I want to give a shout out again to George Alexandros, the developer who created this game. He gave me the key way back. He drew from his life experiences when he made this game. And there are some references to the various religious scriptures of the world, but it is not like trying to force anything down your throat. This is just a game, guys. So don't get offended by it. So the idea is, like I said, he's created this universe where the planets apparently somehow are all connected, but this one has a group of humans who more or less don't get along. They're both descendants of the same brothers. Similar story to some other things that have made modern news, if anybody keeps track of stuff like that. But in a nutshell, they all follow something called the cosmic creators, which are their divine spirits, or at least they believe they're the divine spirits. And Joshua here is the son of a former judge. Had decided that he wants to be part of things that killed his father because he wants to find out he's got a chip on his shoulder. And this game is very story driven. As a matter of fact, you can turn the combat off and just do story if you want, and it plays much like a visual novel. I of course like my combat, so we'll be using that stuff. Now you can talk to people if they have these bubbles over their head. The Shedim are the monsters that we fight. They're kind of like mutated beasts. Canaanites are these cyborg people. This is named Mount Sinai after the real Mount Sinai, but I'm skipping over some of this stuff because I did it in my last stream, but also too, if you guys really want to like follow the full story, I do highly suggest actually buying the game and playing it because it is fun. Now, I never finished it, as I mentioned before, but my plan is to finish it on stream. From what I've read of the game, it's like 20 to 30 hours. So if I play it for like, you know, maybe 3 hours a stream or whatever, I can get it done in like 6 to 8 streams. His full name is Joshua Asa, and this is Lamech, his uncle of Source. He's sort of like, yeah, he's basically like, he's been taking care of him ever since Josh's father died. So right here, they're just talking about the fact that Canaanites may or may not exist. Joshua's got a real big chip on his shoulder. And he wants to fight a little bit too much. Well, yeah, they got killed by something. A lot of the people got killed by something called an Infernos, which is basically like, if anybody's ever played Final Fantasy VI, it's like Kefka's Light of Judgment type thing. It just goes boom, and that's it. You're done. Magia is their power that they use because they don't fight with traditional weapons in this game. Everything you have either improves your defense against magia, or you are or you use it based on, you know, what, how powerful you are. Some things will give you a better chance to avoid attacks from mages. Some things will give you more defense against it. You know, simplified stats. Not saying this is a simple game at all, but the stats are simplified down so you don't have as much to deal with. Like I said, even the red Chris and the blue Chris, they're like basically healing items. And a Rayhod is a scanning tool, kind of like and I can never remember the name of that freaking scan skill from Final Fantasy. There's a specific skill in Final Fantasy to scan now. They actually named it. But yeah. Yeah, that's the basic idea of it. You do have quests. The quests are basically like, do this, do that, do this. This is like I said, everything's straightforward in this game pretty much. Now there's this stuff here called the Ruach, the Ruach, which is the money, and there's talents, which is like meta currency kind of, where you can upgrade abilities. A lot of the stuff you can just walk over to collect. Unless it's something specific, then you have to, like that box, so you have to interact with it. I know it was slightly different when I was talking about it last time. And this guy's ham, he's a ham. Gamera is their leader of their faction of the humans in this game. Behind you. And he shut him. So yeah, the first thing you want to do is to use the Rayhod to scan him. Otherwise, you're kind of poking at the dark. And then once you get the right attack, you actually do a lot of damage with your attack. So this one says weak to fire, ice, and light. And it's a timed attack, kind of like, I said, like a Legend of Dragoon or Super Mario RPG. So when you throw the first attack, you get this, you get that, and then if you hit the inside that circle, you do extra damage. And that's pretty much a Smash Fest style game. So after a fight, you do heal. So I don't have to use the Rayhod this time because I already know what the weakness of this one is. So I can just burn it with the Lahat. You do have to remember to heal during battles because you do get slapped around pretty good. Especially the longer ones. The leveling up generally gives you more HP and a couple more stats. Raise your shield, boy. And then these are their cousins, basically. Literally cousins, because they're the Atticans. They're the other half of the humans. Yeah, Jadua, Jehudans, and the Atticans. They're basically well, I don't want to bring up too much context, but they're basically, like they said, they're basically like cousins that don't know how to get along. Yeah, I am planning on playing this game out in its entirety. I do have Elohim Eternal 2, which is a completely different style of game. I looked at it a little bit. George did a really good job of it, so. So yeah, like I said, they argue a lot. They argue way too much, actually. If you were to go back this way, there's nothing really there, so. This game doesn't really pay you to backtrack very much. I'm not reading through all this stuff there because I've done it like 3 times already. So. I'm just doing it to collect the experience points. Now you do have a run button, which I forget to use a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of mistrust because of what happened with the Inferno, and nobody knows who used it. I'm just literally pounding my way through this because I've read this too many times. So if you guys want, like I said, just get the game, help out George. He's a good developer. And so all these indie developers I do games for, I do it because I actually believe in their game. I don't just do it because I don't get paid to do these 99% of the time. So he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything stupid. Yeah. Foreshadowing. If you guys watched me play it last time, you know. And this is Ruthia. This is another special name character. We do actually get to control her, so we know that she eventually does get put under our control at some point in the game. And as a matter of fact, if you've watched the trailer for this game, when he first put it out, Ruthie is actually in the party, so we know that happens. We just don't know how. And so the Canaanites basically, like, they're down to their last legs. Kinda, so they're remnants because of the battles that took place where everybody tried to kill them in the first place, so. Like, they succeeded in driving them away, but, you know, there's a lot of things in the game that suggest that they're supposed to be with you. I said the first part of the game is actually not bad to deal with. It's just a lot of walking. A lot of walking and a lot of exposition. Like I said, this game is very much a story game. Like, this is one of those things you have to hit a few times. This is very much like a story game. Like I said, this could be played like a visual novel almost. Now, I personally am not a fan of visual novels, but at the same time, when the game offers me the chance to play it another way, I'll do it. So like, I was grateful that this didn't turn out to be a visual novel. I would have not liked it nearly as much. I've never been a fan of them. So not saying they're bad, but I've just never been a fan of them. Now, what have I been doing when I've been feeling sick and not able to talk really and so bad that I've been out of it? Well, I've been playing Megabonk and some other games and watching other people's streams. And it made me feel worse for not being with you guys, even if, you know, there's only one or two of you that might be here at any given time. I still would much prefer to be on my own stream. I'm glad that I'm grateful that for anybody who comes in. But yeah, this is going to be the only game I stream for the next several streams, so if anybody's expecting anything else, like, you know, No Man's Sky or something like that, I'm not going to be playing those. And even after I do this, I'm probably going to be playing the next game right after. We don't think you want to play the game on stream. I'm like, dude, if you look at my record, I've never not played a game on stream that I've been given. So, but I'm not going to speak of the title of the game because that would be rude. But at least I'm polite enough not to mention the developer and the title. But when the game does come out, I'm not going to be playing it. That's just, you know, I was like, even though I kind of wanted to. And this is the first of the canites that he learns, that he finds. So now this is Beos. If you guys watched my last stream, you know Beos was a controllable character already. Now, I may not be pronouncing these names according to what George has done. So if I pronounce them wrong, I apologize, especially if anybody else knows the origin of the name. But I'm going to just pronounce it to the best of my ability. So this is them basically talking about their role in all this mess, and you're getting the their side of the story. Half-breed. So yeah, so Beos is a half-breed. He's half Ghetto and half Vatican, so the leader of the Atticans treats him pretty badly because of it. And you get a different set of baddies here, so you have to use a new Reha because Beos doesn't know what the hell they are anyway. So this one says lightning and wind. And she knows this thing called Buzzhawk. Zack. Zack, I guess. So yeah. Basically, he can just blast him with a bolt of lightning. Yeah, I can't remember. I think I need to go the other way first. This cavern, even though like Mount Sinai is not like a huge thing, I always get confused walking around it because of the way it's laid out. So this one you need Kara because you need the ice attack. As I remembered after the whole first part of the game that I'm in right now, like you do get to a lot more juicier fights. So I want to try to get to that point for you guys as quick as I can. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to like make this faster outside of me running, which I'm doing right now. And if you use an attack that they're not like specifically weak to, you don't get that extra boost, so it takes like almost 4 times as long to kill them. Yeah. Yeah, I like that's the one thing I like about how he did this game. It's like you bounce off of the thing that is part of the story. And what I'm going to try to do, and it's always kind of hard to make a short-form video out of a long-form video, but I am going to try to like clip out some of the pieces and make some shorts for TikTok. Big chunk of the tablet's missing. There's nothing here. Can't let those sons find their way in. Weaken your resolve. Digging. Now we do Ruthia's little piece. Now, he also did code the game. If you watched me play this before I forked my save file, he does play catch up with the level. So if your people are like weak when they join your party, they get brought up the level. I'm just trying to like punch through this. Like I said, the exposition was the only thing that bothered me about the very start of this game. Like, there's a lot of story that has to be told, and I understand it, but at the same time, it's like, right. There's no easy way to punch through it all. You just have to sit there and mash. And Ruthie's the only one that's got like 3 attacks as well. She has Earth, Wind, and Light. And she's also apparently from another world. Like, even though she's got like the Cainite circuitry. So from what I remember the first time I played it, like everybody can learn all of those attacks. And apparently, like, the outside of this mountain not only is poisonous, it's like deathly cold. I feel like she levels up faster than the others because she's able to fight more. Could just be and this is where all the paths diverge, combine, converge. What's happened all these years? Josh is missing an arm now. Here we go. Yeah, because they're circuitry people, lightning bolts. I've never surrendered to Canaanites. Yeah, that's why it's called the Babel Code, because it's half their language and half Canaanite language. And it's a lot of exposition. And he said, now our boy wakes up and he's missing an arm. Can't cook. And a little bit more history about the Canaanites. They thought they extinguished them all, and they didn't. Joshua and his head full of steam. Look at that. I'll be careful. Yeah. Man lost an arm. Be careful. And of course, I got one of the Canaanites, the one that he zapped to death. Yeah, basically you can do a lot of shopping and stuff and heal and all that good stuff. I just skipped it because like I said, I know. Actually at a good spot. I'm almost at the this child is a brat. Yeah, but I can show me. Crazy kid. So yeah, I can't remember how long this scene is, so it's basically just an offering to remove their sins and stuff like that. Yeah, so talking about his dad now and his mom and like, I found that gate. Maybe. Your devotion is not won after the sacrifice. All right, so I'm actually going to stop right here because the Twitch ad's going to start playing. Guys, I'll be back. So, good old BRB time.